G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Draw with Jazza. I'm Jazza and this video is the announcement video for the winners of this month's challenge of the month. So the challenge for the month of November was for people to participate in the awareness raising campaign of Movember by creating a portrait of a man and to include in the description of their upload the things that inspire them or the attributes that this man has, and then how these attributes and this person has influenced them in their own life and experience and development. Now, before we get stuck into checking out the awesome entries, I want to start off by saying three things. The first thing I want to say is that this competition was in no way meant to be in any way misogynistic or in any way isolating or segregating men from women or anything like that. It's just purely to raise awareness and to be supportive of the men's health issues campaign and awareness that Movember does. So I'd like to encourage you all to check out the Movember website where you can donate and find out more about the campaign. The second thing I want to say is that these competitions are very difficult to judge, and that's a good thing and a bad thing because I really feel like I'm letting people down sometimes because I really feel connected to a lot of the entries that are sent in, and I feel really touched at the openness that people share and the effort they put into their entries at all levels, advanced and beginning and intermediate. So I just want to make sure that everyone who I'm not able to highlight and everyone who I am able to highlight in this video knows how grateful I am for your participation. So thank you so much for entering. So I hope you can understand the limitations there, but I just want to say a massive thank you, and it was such an uplifting experience going through all your entries. And the third and final thing I wanted to say before we get stuck into it is that next month's challenge of the month is going to feature the biggest prize pool we've ever had on the Draw with Jazza challenge of the month. So to remove some of the pressure from myself to pick a theme that everyone's happy with, I'm actually opening it up to voting. So if you're interested in either participating in next month's competition or even just having a say in what the competition will be, check out the link in the description and go vote for next month's theme and challenge. So we're going to get stuck into the entries now, and I'm just going to let you know that there's quite a lot that I'm showcasing compared to previous ones, so I'm just going to go through them fairly quickly and just say a few words about each one. The first piece by Little Nerdy Gem is called Vincent. This is a portrait of the artist's husband who has a serious case of epilepsy mixed with heart and brain issues, who doesn't let this hold him back and is able to push himself and still be the best he can and to be bigger than the challenges that these things give. This piece is by Johnny V47 and it's called Practice, and there was nothing written in the description, but I had to show it just because it's extremely well painted, so there you go. This piece is by Max RH and it's called Scott. In his author's comments, he opens up quite personally and shares that Scott is a production of his mental illness, but that Scott, amongst some other close friends of his, have served to be a support and valuable people in his life. This piece by Tar Graphics is called Ash Williams. Aside from being an extremely well painted caricaturistic piece, Ash was chosen because of his ability to keep calm even when everyone else is losing their shit. This piece by Reanimate Arts is called Paul Walker, A Man's Man. This artist chose Paul Walker because they believe that he's used his success as a channel to help other people and has shown himself to be a generous example. This piece by Mikaru is of Joel from The Last of Us. The author said Joel was chosen not just because he's a badass, but because he made difficult decisions like we all do in real life and stood by his decisions no matter the consequences. This piece is by Brian, or Runic, and it's called William B.J. Blazkowicz. Like the other early entry, there's not much in the description for this one explaining the reasons behind choosing the piece, but nonetheless it's extremely well executed and a great example of good portrait painting. This piece is by Edolam Art and it's called Peter. This artist believes that Peter from the Hunger Games represents what a good human being should be, and they share the quote of Peter from the book saying, "I just don't want to be another piece in their game, they don't own me, if I'm gonna die, I want to still be me." This piece by Sam Jones Illustrator is called Abraham Lincoln. This artist uses colour quite effectively and decided to use President Lincoln because he led the nation through the Civil War and put an end to slavery, and is well known for being one signifying defending democracy. This piece by Tuxedo Cat Cartoon is called Hollis Lee. This is a pencil drawing of the artist's grandfather. The artist shares an interesting and open history of their grandfather in the author's description, which is well worth a read, and this piece is well drawn and heartfelt. This piece by Toby-Wan Kenobi is called Papa del Rustico. It's a portrait of the artist's father who says, "He teaches me every day we speak that if you love, you can be well enough to sustain yourself to the next day no matter what." Artist Marco Blade did a piece of Oliver Queen / Stephen Amell. And the artist chose Oliver Queen because he has a sense of humour and bravery that makes him a strong character and a good role model, and Stephen Amell because he's a great person who appears as a strong father figure and a good example of a kind-hearted person. Artist Mariah Bonaparte did a piece called Perseverance of Marshall Mathers. This piece has a great sense of contrast between lights and darks and a great use of texture in the line work that's creating the shading on the piece. Aside from that, the theme of this piece is well articulated in the author's comments, going on to share the opinion that Marshall is a great example of an underdog story and perseverance from someone who's come up from the lowest of lows and escalated out of their situation, even though the odds of his circumstances were stacked against him. Honoria did this piece called The Game Is On, which is of Sherlock Holmes, played by Benedict Cumberbatch. The artist shares their feelings on the character in the author's comments and has a particularly detailed and really refined sketching style, and the outcome of this piece has been shaded extremely well. So I hope you enjoyed the showcased entries, and we're here at the final 3 entries for this month's Challenge of the Month. The second runner-up is a piece by Kurt Lee, and it is a portrait of their grandfather, who passed away last year on June 13th. He was a 2-time prostate cancer fighter, and second time he lost the battle, and he chose to do a drawing of him this month because it was the closest thing he has to a father and learn how to become a man because of him. Our second runner-up is a piece by Martin Macy, and it's called Stronger Than You Think. This artist shared that when the Challenge of the Month was announced, they knew immediately who they wanted to draw, and that was Superman, but not because of his masculine characteristics or superhuman strength, but because of the character that defines him. This piece is extremely well painted and well lit. It's got a great sense of contrast, the colours are really well chosen, and I believe the theme is well chosen too, because even though it's a fictional character and one that might be considered cliche, it's presented in a way that is really personal and heartfelt. And the author's comments share a bit of a quote as a reference as to why they chose Superman, which sent shivers down my spine and I thought was a really appropriate pick. And our final piece and winner of this month's Challenge of the Month and first prize is by Bugs and Books. And this piece is called The Most Noble Thing, and the theme of this portrait is Bill Nye the Science Guy. This author shares extensively in the author's comments why they chose him as the theme, both through what this person represents in their field of expertise, and then also in how he uses his personality and nature to spread that positivity and knowledge, which the artist believes makes him a great exemplar of a man. The strokes in the paintwork aren't overdone, they're soft, and yet there's some great solidity in a lot of the areas of the artwork. The contrast and the way that the skin tones are highlighted in certain areas and the way the whole piece is framed and presented is absolutely stunning. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, they are some of the showcases and the winners of this month's Challenge of the Month. To the 3 winners, the winner and the 2 runner-ups, I'll be messaging you on Newgrounds. Make sure to check your PM inbox so that you can claim your prizes, which include things like some cash for the first prize winner, some digital downloads, and a whole bunch of other goodies. Once again, make sure to vote by clicking on the link in the description as to what next month's Challenge of the Month will be, and stay tuned next week to check out the amazing prizes that we have, as well as to find out what the challenge is going to be. Thank you so much for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much, everyone who entered. I am just blown away and touched, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the entries that are showcased at the end of this video. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel to see new content every week. Check out more of my stuff by clicking the annotations over there. If you want to support my work and get a few goodies for yourself, head over to my store for archives, ebooks, and get yourself something nice. If you're looking for a great place to collaborate, explore, or share your own content, head over to newgrounds.com. That's it for now, and until next time, see you later.